Here on Horsepower, we poured countless quarts of Royal Purple into project engines. And while we like the results, we'd like to know how they make the stuff and why they can back claims of superior synthetic protection. So time for a road trip. This is where our story begins, the tank farm at Royal Purple's headquarters near Houston. Each of these 56 containers holds thousands of gallons of base oil, ready to travel through a maze of stainless steel pipes to one of many blending tanks inside. Here's where the advanced additive technology is introduced, fortifying the base oil and creating Royal Purple's superior film strength. This whole area is dedicated to industrial lubricants used to keep customer equipment running around the country and beyond. And because of increased demand, production capacity was recently ramped up 200%.
If someone needs oil, it's a critical situation, so we need to be able to turn it or ship it same day or next day.
The prospect of producing synthetic oil for industry is what got Royal Purple off the ground in 1986.
We were competing against the largest corporations in the world, going against convention, and so it was an uphill fight.
But a successful one, and before long, something very interesting happened. A few of the industrial customers were also part-time racers who wanted to try a version of the synthetic oil in their own high-performance engines. Guess what? It not only reduced wear, it also maximized horsepower and torque. In a way, it was the beginning of a new era, producing super premium synthetics for consumers. And that brings us to another Royal Purple facility where these bottles are ready to be filled with 10W30.
A lot of processes, procedures go in place here for allow us to hit the capacity we want. Obviously, we want to continue that growth and keep people purchasing the Royal Purple brands.
All the empty bottles are put into this bin.
Oscar Botello, the man in charge, gave me a tour. Just like the production process, the bottle's been improved, now 20% heavier and stronger. After the slanted label goes on, each bottle gets scanned before a trip to the filling station. The filling machine doesn't care about the weight of the bottle. It fills each one according to the prescribed weight of the fill. And it only takes 2 seconds to precisely load up each quart. Next door, like a well-choreographed line dance, this machine grabs the flattened boxes, whips them into shape, tapes the bottoms, and moves them down the line, ready for a rendezvous with the freshly filled bottles. Next step, the wholesaler at one of 25,000 retailers. But wait, there's much more than that. All Royal Purple products undergo some of the most rigorous tests in the industry, often more than 40 before they go out the door.
Once it's blended and put into the final package, we also do testing on the packaged product itself, just to make sure that what went into that package is what we said we put into it.
In this foam test, Amy pours about 200 milliliters of motor oil into a cylinder, which goes into a vat of 200-degree water to simulate engine heat. After 10 minutes, she attaches a hollow tube to what's called a foam stone, which goes directly into the oil. Then an air hose is connected to aerate the oil for 5 minutes.
About 20 milliliters of foam sitting on the top of the oil is acceptable. If you've got a problem, you'll see foam coming all the way up the tube.
What's most important is how long it takes the oil to dissipate after the aeration stops. 12 seconds is definitely a passing grade.
This is our spectrometer.
A spectrometer is used in another test to examine the oil's chemistry.
We test it for quality control to find out that the additive package that we intend to be in there is in there, and also that there's no contaminants we don't want.
First, a little kerosene is added to motor oil that's drawn through a tube to this machine. Argon gas is introduced here to create a mist.
So the mist goes up through a power source, which excites the electrons in the oil, and as they come out of the power source, they give that energy back, which creates a plasma that's 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Now a technician can observe the composition of 22 different elements from zinc to aluminum. Now, and here's the R&D department. This is where Royal Purple formulas of the future are being developed today. Some of the stuff is so top secret in here, they even covered up the cabinets. They did let us eavesdrop on a destructive test, however, to see which oil best prevents galling or scarring on a little cylinder of hardened steel. The competitor synthetic is first poured into a little metal container. The wheel rotates in the oil, and using weights and a fulcrum, 8 pounds of pressure are applied to the steel cylinder on top. Next, the exact same drill using Royal Purple oil. Everything's got to be consistent, except for the results. On the left, the other synthetic allowed 3 times more damage to its steel cylinder.
Everybody has heard that you put our oil in a car, you get better fuel economy. This is one of the reasons.
There have been a lot of problems that we're hearing from customers about subpar fuels, problems with fuel injection, particularly direct fuel injection, and we've spent the last couple of years doing hundreds of hours of R&D for a new fuel system cleaner.
These guys seem to have the formula for success dialed in. Give the customer the very best bang for his hard-earned buck, and he'll give you back a priceless payback called brand loyalty.